Bon Jovi, the super popular American rock band, was formed in 1983 in Sayreville, New Jersey, and consists of singer Jon Bon Jovi, keyboardist David Bryan, drummer Tico Torres, guitarist Phil X, and bassist Hugh McDonald. Prior to McDonald joining the group, Bon Jovi's bassist was Alec John Such. So stay tuned and don't go away, because Alec John Such is dead at age 70, plus other related news. First up, who was Alec John Such? You're about to find out. Alec John Such was one of the founding members of legendary U.S. rock band Bon Jovi, and the group has just announced that Such has died at 70. Such played with the group through the highest points of their career between 1983 and 1994. Such was behind the band's biggest hits like You Give Love a Bad Name, Livin' on a Prayer, and Bad Medicine. Such is responsible for bringing the band together, and according to his fellow bandmates, will always be remembered as a very dear friend who was wild, full of life, and loved to have a good time. At this time, no details surrounding Such's death have been publicly released, but lead singer Jon Bon Jovi said, "Alec was integral to the formation of the band. To be honest, we found our way to each other through him." Such and Bon Jovi drummer Tico Torres were actually childhood friends, and Such was actually the one who brought guitarist and songwriter Richie Sambora to see the band perform. Jovi added, "Today, these special memories bring a smile to my face and a tear to my eye. We'll miss him dearly." Such was born in New York on the 14th of November, 1951, and eventually earned a reputation as a talented musician in New Jersey. Prior to joining Bon Jovi, Such played with a band called The Message. Next up, how did Alec John Such become involved with Bon Jovi? Let's take a look. Such was the manager of a concert venue called the Hunka Bunka Ballroom in Sayreville, New Jersey, and was responsible for booking Jon Bon Jovi and the Wild Ones before eventually joining the band himself. Such was 10 years older than the rest of his bandmates, and in an interview prior to his death said, "The record company used to lie about my age. I was 31 when I joined. I was a good 10 years older than the rest of the band. My sister eventually got really mad because the papers would describe her as my older sister, when really, she was younger." Ultimately, it was the age gap that led Such to leave the band in 1994. When Such was 43, he started to get burned out. It started to feel like work, and he didn't want to work. In fact, the reason Such got into the band in the first place was that he didn't want to work. Such was replaced by Hugh John McDonald. In later interviews, Such explained that when Jon Bon Jovi called him up many years earlier and asked him to be in his band, he soon realized how serious he was and that he had a vision he wanted to be a part of. Such confessed to those closest to him that the greatest joy in his life was having the opportunity to be a part of Jon Bon Jovi's vision and help make it a reality. Up next, who are the other rock icons that the music industry lost in 2022? Let's find out. Sadly, 2022 saw many rock icons ascend to rock and roll heaven. Michael Lang, the co-creator of the famed Woodstock event, died on January 8th. He was 77. Lang passed away at Sloan Kettering Hospital in New York City following a battle with a rare form of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Lang co-founded the Woodstock Music and Art Fair in Bethel, New York from 15th to 18th August 1969, an event that changed the rock industry forever and became a rock and roll folk legend. To this day, people can't stop talking about Woodstock 69, and in all honesty, probably never will. Woodstock 69 saw performances from The Who, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, Joan Baez, Sly and the Family Stone, the band, and Jimi Hendrix. Lang was also behind the 25th anniversary event in 1994 and the 30th anniversary celebration, Woodstock 99. Lang owned and operated a record label called Just Sunshine Records, and he managed and produced artists like Billy Joel, Joe Cocker, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 2022 also saw the passing of former Ronettes singer Ronnie Spector, known as the Bad Girl of Rock and Roll. Spector was 78 when she died on January 12th. World famous for her iconic voice, style, and hairstyle, she was responsible for several hits by the Ronettes, including Be My Baby, Baby I Love You, and Walking in the Rain. Spector was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007, and her family released a statement saying Ronnie lived her life with a twinkle in her eye, a spunky attitude, a wicked sense of humor, and a smile on her face. She was filled with love and gratitude. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're looking at other music legends who went to rock and roll heaven in 2022. Next up, which rock icon who exploded onto the rock scene like a bat out of hell passed away in 2022? You're about to find out. The music and film industry lost a much-loved rock icon on Thursday, January 20th. Marvin Lee Aday, better known as Meat Loaf, was famous for his epic and flamboyant rock anthems. Meat Loaf was one of the best-selling rock stars of all time, and his 1977 album titled Bat Out of Hell sold 43 million copies. 16 years after the first album, Meat Loaf dropped another album titled Bat Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell. The album is largely considered to be a mega hit like the original, and Meat Loaf was officially back on top. However, in addition to his legendary music career, Meat Loaf was also an incredible actor on stage, on TV, and in film. Meat Loaf's credits include Fight Club, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, Wayne's World, and Spice World, the movie, just to name a few. On Saturday, January 22, 2022, the legendary co-founder of the famed surf rock band The Ventures, Don Wilson, passed away. The Ventures rose quickly up the charts for their groovy-sounding instrumental music. Wilson died at his home in Tacoma, Washington, surrounded by loved ones. He was 88 years old and the last surviving member of The Ventures, responsible for hits such as Walk Don't Run and the Hawaii Five-O theme. The Ventures were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2008, and Wilson's son Tom released a heartfelt statement saying, "Our dad was an amazing rhythm guitar player who touched people all over the world with his band The Ventures. He will have his place in history forever and was much loved and appreciated. He will be missed." Up next, which famous band dealt with a major tragedy in March of 2022? Let's take a look. The iconic rock band The Foo Fighters lost their drummer Taylor Hawkins at the young age of 50 on Friday, March 25th. Hawkins' untimely demise has shocked and devastated the band and Hawkins' family. The Foo Fighters released a statement saying the Foo Fighters family is devastated by the tragic and untimely loss of our beloved Taylor Hawkins. His musical spirit and infectious laughter will live on with all of us forever. Our hearts go out to his wife, children, and family, and we ask that their privacy be treated with the utmost respect in this unimaginably difficult time. Hawkins passed away just hours before the Foo Fighters were due to headline Festival Estéreo Picnic in Bogotá, Colombia. Hawkins used to drum for Alanis Morissette before he joined the Foo Fighters in March of 1997 after the band recorded their second album titled The Color and the Shape. Hawkins performed and co-wrote all of the Foo Fighters studio albums from 1999's There Is Nothing Left to Lose through 2021's Medicine at Midnight. A phenomenal musician, Hawkins was captivating to watch and will be remembered for his explosively energetic performances. One would think he was born with drumsticks in his hands. Hawkins and Foo Fighters lead singer Dave Grohl would sometimes switch positions during live shows for select songs, such as their cover of the famed Queen hit Somebody to Love. Millions of fans around the world have expressed their sadness over Hawkins' untimely demise. Hawkins will be dearly missed by all who knew him. Finally, did the world lose one of its most legendary composers this year? Legendary Greek composer Evangelos Odysseas Papathanassiou, known famously around the world simply as Vangelis, passed away on May 17th. He was 79 years old. Known for his iconic theme music for the films Chariots of Fire and Blade Runner, Vangelis passed away in Paris, France due to heart failure. Chariots of Fire producer Lord Putnam said, "I think Vangelis created a new landscape, a new musical landscape that many other composers have taken advantage of." Vangelis even won an Oscar for Chariots of Fire, and his music in the 1982 film version of Blade Runner is seen as essential to the movie Harrison Ford's character Rick Deckard and Sean Young's character Rachel. Vangelis also performed with Greek progressive rock outfit Aphrodite's Child, and he recorded numerous collaborative albums with former Yes lead singer John Anderson throughout the 1980s and 1990s. We'd like to dedicate this video to all of the influential musicians who passed away this year. May they rest in peace in rock and roll heaven. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching.